So this engine is a little EM2, and it's been spitting and hacking and coughing and not really wanting to run, and I'm worried that that's because the governor is not letting it run quite fast enough. I'm just going to see if I can get it to run ungoverned, because this is based on the other little vertical engines, most of which are ungoverned. So I'm gonna just take the weights off the governor today, and we'll see if we can get it to run without the governor. And it's got just two little screw pins here, and they don't come all the way out right away, so it looks like so. I'm going to just quietly loosen them and then turn this around and take not quite small enough to be a wire to poke in there. There. One of the incredibly tiny hex keys out of my screwdriver set. There. One down. And one governor weight out of the way. There's the tear trap design on there, so they do have an upside and a downside for the direction they go in, but that's pretty easy to identify, it looks like. So now do this one from the other side. Okay, that one is loose. The other ones seem to have one of the threads kept catching, so I had to unscrew it and push on it gently. Now, without that governor on there, it's not going to do the hit and miss where it holds the valve open to slow it down. So this should run freely to full speed. Like I said, I'm not too worried about it because this is based on other designs that are ungoverned. And the other thing is that I suspect that because this engine has not a particularly strong spring on the exhaust valve, that it probably will have a lot of valve float on that exhaust valve when it gets up to speed, and that will naturally slow it down. Like at a certain point, engines run so fast that the spring on the exhaust valve can't close the exhaust valve all the way before an intake stroke, so they don't have as much suction, and so that'll slow it down if it has any issues. But I'll also be very careful with it now that the governor's off. Right now we're just seeing if we can get it to run, and once we get it to run, I will probably run it in a teeny bit and then try putting the governor back on and see if just running it in a bit was what it needed. I really, like, the next step, if I can't get it to run with the governor on, is that I'm going to have to take the grub screw out of the flywheel here, and I'm going to have to get the flywheel loose so I can retime it, retime the ignition on it, because I'm pretty certain that the valve timing is correct, and every time I've tried to check the ignition timing, this flywheel has been stuck very firmly, and I just don't have good tools to do anything with that right now, and I'd rather not come up with a, you know, back of the envelope kind of solution with the stuff I have if I don't have to, because there's a reason they make the right tool for the job, and I don't have that correct tool, so trying to do the job without it is always a challenge. But anyhow, the governor's off. Next time we see this, we'll see if it just runs free, and then if I can run it in a little bit without the governor and then put the governor back on, I can see about adjusting the governor to keep it running.